Hi. My camera is off. Is my camera off? I don't know. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay. There we go. All right. I don't know what was up right there because my camera was plugged in. It just didn't work. Weird. Interesting. Anyway, hello. I'm SolarLune. I'm the developer of MasterPlan, this project planning software that's rather cool. And I'm going to be working on it right now. Welcome to the stream. Hello to everyone watching this video later and to the people in live stream chat. How's everything going? So, yeah. So over the past day or so, yeah, yesterday, I've been working on adding this little feature so you can see basically what number the tasks are. So you can see, it goes 1, and then as you indent it, it goes 1.1, 2, 3, 4, and then as it de-indents, unindents, dedents. I believe that's the right word. It goes back to 2, and then you go up to 2.1. So that's cool. Works really well. Looks really clean and nice. Looks something like you would expect from a professional video game. It looks kind of cool, and that's kind of the general. Yeah, okay. That's the kind of general style that I'm going for this tool. Is basically just make it really fun to use, really easy to use, and make it visually pleasing. And so that's the kind of this is the end result. I'm also moving over to a different setting system, whereas before it was kind of storing settings in kind of a complex, like individualized system. But now, since we implemented a property system for tasks, or for cards rather, I just reuse that for the settings, for the program settings. So now. Why does it take so long to change theme? That's weird. So now, I guess it might. Yeah, I'm not sure why it takes so long to change theme. So now it's using this. It's basically reusing code that I already have, which is cool. And so the end result is just a much simpler approach. It's very easy to kind of set up your settings, or my settings for the developer. It's pretty simple and straightforward, easy to use. Excuse me, and pardon me. So the first real setting we have here is just basically an option to always show the list numbering versus not always showing the list numbering, which is cool. So you can basically select tasks and see the list they belong to as well as their numbering, or you can enable this option to always see it. This is a visual glitch caused by basically drawing the numbering system essentially for objects that are not numbers, as you can see, that are not numberable or completable. That needs to be fixed. But yeah, this is cool. So we're making some progress here. There's a couple things we need to fix. One is, let's see, if we quit out. Excuse me. If we quit out, go back, load up the project in MasterPlan. Yeah, as you can see, tasks aren't properly sized. Yeah, these are all kind of incorrect. So we need to fix that. That's what we'll be doing like right now. Lucretius and Don Duval, good morning. Hello. Glad to see you can catch another stream indeed. Thank you very much for stopping by. And Lucretius, what's up? Luninator. Yeah, that's me, I guess. But yeah, it's good to be here. So what we're going to do is work on that first. The tasks not loading properly. So we'll take a quick look to see what's going on there. That would be in card. Let's close the other things. There we go. When we deserialize, we got to see why it's deserializing incorrectly. Let me also get some music going. Trying to see what music I want first. This works. Let me turn on the desktop audio. There we go. That should be pretty good. If not, let me know. It's weirdly silent. Yeah. It's always good to get some music for a stream. Okay, so here's the code where we go ahead and deserialize the card, and also if you're interested, misspelling everything. If you're interested, you can follow my progress here. Cloudless says, hi, hello, welcome to the stream. There we go. Okay. Yes, welcome to the stream indeed. Hi. Okay, so the issue here is that basically the cards aren't being deserialized properly. So card to recreate, deserialize, properties, okay. Set contents. Yeah, I'm pretty sure what the issue is here is that when we go ahead and set the contents for, let's say, the note contents, it's this onChange function. Let's go ahead and give it a shot without that, see if it deserializes properly. Because this has been kind of giving us problems for a while now. Map test, numbering test, map test. Yep, that's correct. So it's basically this issue where it's changing the line count when we're not editing the thing. So I guess the easiest way to do that is just to say if nc.label.editing. That way it only changes the line count if you're actually typing in the thing. I don't know why I haven't thought of that until just now, but I guess that's just the way it is. There we go. You know what? Let's do another fix while we're doing this. I don't like this. I want this to be taller. How we can do that is my build just call nil here. Nope. Okay. So then it does need a thing, so we'll just make it a little bit taller. There we go. Excuse me. AppSalt says, hello, SolarLune. Hello. Hi. Settings should probably come before quit, I think, actually. But yes, hello. Welcome to the stream. I guess settings should be in maybe view, the view menu. File settings, file preferences. Preferences and settings are under file here, not edit. Okay, I guess this is fine then. All right, we'll need a like load recent project list. We'll have to maintain that somewhere. But this should resolve the issue that we were having. Yeah, that's definitely better. Absolt says, I've been using MasterPlan for many hours now. Oh, great. Great to hear. Always good to get people who use the application. I think we want the numbering to only be there if we're not editing a label, because if you're editing a label, then that can get in the way. So we probably wanted to do that. Add drawable. So this is a system I added basically yesterday, where it allows us to draw things on top of everything. Because otherwise, if we draw the and I'm glad to, I already mentioned, just talked about it, but yeah, thank you very much for using MasterPlan. A lot of people like it. I'm impressed, not impressed, but just happy to see people use the application, use the software, and find like, oh yeah, it really does help me. It helps me to be productive. That's something that is kind of subjective, right? Where it's like, oh, is it productive? Does it help you be productive? Is it useful? I can say it is, but I don't know if I would say it's just a fundamentally better program or something that helps people on a fundamental basis. But a lot of people are finding that it does, which is great. Yeah, so this is cool. Right. So yeah, when you're editing, it shouldn't show the numbering. I think at least the numbering, this thing can still be there, but the numbering definitely should not be there because it gets in the way. Unless we kick this over to the left, we can kick it over here. That might be better. I kind of like the position now, but it is kind of on top of the text, so it might be better to kick it over to the left hand side. We can't really drop it down. We can't push it over any more left. We could push the label beginning over to the right more, and then leave space for the number. But there's no way to really know how long the number is going to be, so that doesn't really work that well. I'm thinking it could be there. Absol says, I use it in my studies. I use notes 90% of the time. Oh, cool. Fantastic. Yeah, glad to hear that, because yeah, it's useful to just know people are using notes, for example, because they need to display a lot of text. So it's good that someone's actually using it for that purpose, so that if it doesn't work right, they can kind of point it out to me. Yeah, I think I need to kick this. I could just kick this over. It doesn't have to. We don't have to change really too much. Because we can't put it here. We could put it on the end, but I think that's better reserved for like, 1 of 3, 3 of 4, 2 of 9, that kind of like partial completion box. That would be better done there. Yeah, so I think we'll just kick it over. So where's my to-do list? So these are the things that hopefully we'll have card movement up and running by the end of today. So this is resolved. And we still need to do this. We still need to... This is done. I just fixed that before the stream. That needs to be done. This needs to be done. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the numbers should be on the left hand side. So let's go ahead and fix that. So this drawable system I added, that basically indicates how where things are drawn on screen. It gets called basically after everything else, so it's easier to do this kind of a thing where the label is over the contents, which is over the card, which is over the shadow. It needs to be in that order, but if you click on a card, it should raise the card. That's the way that it works currently. See? Why didn't I? Now I'm wondering, why don't I just tie the drawable, the little number box directly to the card, so that you don't have something like this. This should be under the card on top, shouldn't it? Why did I? You know what? Let me see here. Let me see if that's even necessary. We're gonna move this code. Let's make it a little bigger for people on small screens. We're gonna move this code, this drawing function. That's really just drawing the number. We're gonna move that into draw contents. At the bottom of draw contents, basically. We'll move it into its own function. Like that. And then we'll just make this would be card dot draw numbering, something like that. But we'll do this, and then we'll just put this at the bottom of draw contents, card dot draw numbering, because I don't quite remember why we're doing it this way. So now the number can. Oh, that's why. Because if we raise the card, then the numbering gets cut off by the card beneath it. Okay, that's why. Understood. Alright, so then adding the drawable will be this. This won't work actually in practice, because when we add a drawable, we need to basically remove drawable sometimes, like if you remove a card, and that doesn't work because apparently you can't compare function pointers, which is news to me, because I thought that basically just passing having a list of functions is basically having a list of function pointers, and so you should be able to compare them and say if a object in a slice rather of function pointers is equal to this function pointer, then move forward and remove it from the list. But apparently that doesn't work, so we're going to make a thing specifically for this purpose. We don't have one yet. Yeah, so we're just gonna say type drawable struct from drawable and that's basically it. Absol says I use images a lot too, but it's so fast with the drag and drop that it hardly takes any time. Glad to hear that as well. I wasn't sure if anyone actually used drag and drop. I mean, like, the things that you implement is easy to kind of just be like, I implemented it because I thought it would be cool, or I thought it's a useful quality of life feature, but I don't know if anyone will actually use it. So it's nice to know that people actually use it. Add drawable. Okay, so here's the drawable. It's going to be a drawing. There we go. There we go. Then we say page.drawables equals append page.drawables up to I page.drawables I plus 1 out. Okay, and then we can break return after that. Cool. So we're good to go. Add drawable. Now we're just gonna do it like this, I guess. Card.draw numbering. Alright, so we'll do it like this. Now, when we set the contents, this is where we basically can be like, alright, well, actually a couple places. When we delete receive message, okay, so if the card, or if the message type is type, or message card deleted, then we can basically say card dot. Can we delete the drawable from the drawable? No. I mean, we could, but I don't want to have to do that. So we'll say card dot page dot draw remove drawable card dot drawable. Okay. Then when we set the contents, we can basically add the drawable if the content type necessitates it, which is basically if it's completable, if it's a checkbox, or if it's any other completable task type, card type, then we can proceed. So we'll just say if card dot content type is equal to, or I guess we could just say if card dot completable numerable, then card dot page I add drawable else. All right, cool. So that should basically do it. Did not work. Cannot call non-function draw for draw. And okay, draw dot. There we go. All right, so that should basically get the job done. Let's go back and load this project, which is the map test. Okay. So yeah, now this stuff doesn't have drawables. This doesn't have a drawable. That's not by design though. So the way that drawables or this system works is numbering. Oh, it's in the card. Draw numbering. The way that this system works, the numbering is drawn by each card. It draws its own numbering, or has its own numbering to draw. But here is where the issue kind of comes in, because you have the line is drawn by the topmost card in the stack, which can be a note, which doesn't have a doesn't draw numbering. Okay. I guess what we'll do we need to know, I guess we could just maybe find the topmost card. It doesn't really matter which card. But I guess it could work to basically find the topmost card in the stack that is numerable, and then let that handle it, I suppose. Eboat Right says, hello, welcome to the stream. How's it going? What we're trying to do is figure out who should draw this little line. Somebody, one of these cards needs to draw it, and which one is basically what we're trying to figure out. We can't necessarily leave it to the top or bottom because we don't know which card will do it. But right says, SolarLune, I have 2 questions. 1, how do you stay motivated with your projects? And 2, are you still working with DoorJam? Well, the answer to 2 is no, not quite. I've worked on this kind of more so and Resolve, which is my like Golang collision detection stuff. 1 is kind of related to 2. So how I stay motivated, that's a good question. I think that trying to make something work like this, trying to make it work for an audience is kind of the primary way to stay motivated, especially people who like MasterPlan or MasterPlan specifically, because there's a lot of people who like it. And that's very encouraging to know that people will use it. But I also have a consumer base. I have people who are actively like interested in its development. It being early access also helps to drive development because people buy it, and so I have to keep working on it. If it was just a project where I finished it and then put it out, then it's easier to kind of lose steam either before or after. I think working on it full time, like trying to work on it full time to be a full-time job is part of that. Because you're looking for the income, looking to make it work. I think honestly, I found MasterPlan to be really helpful when it comes to staying motivated, because what I would do is start a timer when I wanted to sit down and work on whatever. So it's like, oh, I want to work on a game or whatever. You sit down, you start a timer for an hour, and then as you see the timer ticking down, you get less. You naturally, from my perspective, I naturally was like, oh, I want to look at Twitter, I want to do something else, but then I see the timer ticking down, and I'm like, I can, last another 40 minutes, I can last another 20 minutes working on this or whatever. And so I keep working on it, and then eventually the timer goes off, and that's a good time. That's a good indication of getting up. It's time to get up, maybe take a walk, because usually I'm in the middle of what I'm working on. So I'm like thinking, like, how do I solve this? The timer goes off. I get up, I walk around, I think about it, stretch my legs, and then get back and start the timer again. So it's like, the process of basically having a timeline, having a timer helps to really drive motivation. So I think something that just helps people in general is to basically find a reason or find a way to make it so that you want to work on your project. I think if for a lot of people, they might not like to work on their project for other reasons, and if you don't like to work on your project, it's going to be hard, and if it's hard, you're going to give up. So the hard part of working on a project is not always the problems you face. Sometimes it's the things in between. So like if you're making a game and you're finding yourself to lose steam, it might be where it's like, maybe you're losing steam because your engine is kind of friction heavy, right? Like maybe you're working with a game engine where the process of importing assets is kind of slow and cumbersome, or maybe the physics system doesn't quite work the way you want or whatever, and so it's friction heavy. It doesn't quite work the way you want. The best way to overcome that is to figure out why, where that grind is, and remove it, and try to basically figure out, how can I make this as smooth as possible so that when I do sit down and work on it, it's a joy, it's a pleasure, it's easy, rather than being a pain. Because I think a lot of people may not realize, when they're working with whatever engine or whatever tool, if it doesn't work well or they don't like it, then maybe they would be better off with something else, maybe something even simpler that doesn't give them, that doesn't grind their gears, that doesn't literally grind the gears of creativity. So how to stay motivated: timelines, timers, deadlines, that kind of stuff, and removing any unnecessary friction from your development process. I would say both of those are rather important. Also being realistic with the kind of projects you make. Everyone would like to make, a huge sprawling open world, third person action JRPG, RTS racing game, but realistically, we don't have a million years to do that. So maybe be realistic in terms of the kind of games you can make or would like to make, and then maybe also Okay. And then maybe also you could be realistic with the kinds of, like, making the kinds of games that would, like, making games that maybe are inherently limited, like maybe a game that runs on a Game Boy, or maybe, you know, with like GB Studio, or a game that is only that only has a single like graphic image, so you don't have you know, tile sets upon tile sets, and, you know, character art and all this stuff. You're trying to make a whole game in like a 256 by 256, you know, image, and so you're like, okay, how much time or how much space can I devote to the player character, to tiles, to enemies, you know, to NPCs, all that stuff. And so the limitations can kind of make it easier to make a game because you don't have as much to work with. So you're like, well, let me make something smaller because I have more limits. Anyway, that's just an idea. Some ideas. Those are some ideas. Eboat Right says, the last thing you said about not liking the engine, I really feel, because I got tired of Unity's bloat and other engines not working how I want, that I just stopped using an engine altogether, and I'm currently using no engine with just Java's library, standard library. That's crazy. Java's standard library is kind of bananas. Oh wait, we never fixed this, that's right. Java's standard library is kind of bananas, as I recall, for like game development. You might want to go. I don't know. I completely am unfamiliar with Java's like tooling for game development for what they have, like the standard library. If you can do it with just like pure Java, that's crazy. I just spilled water on myself. Oh my gosh. Okay. In any case, that's crazy. I don't know how I missed how I missed that. It will not be repeated. I got water on my shirt. That's crazy. Whatever. But yeah. There's a couple of Java options if you're, you know, making games. You got LWJGL. You have libgdx, right? Slick, as I recall, is also an option. Using Kotlin for work. Nice syntax. You hate camel case, says Lucretius, but it's otherwise nice as a language. Yeah, there's a libgdx, like not really a port, but just kind of like a readjustment of APIs for Kotlin that you can check out as well. Eboat Rice says it has simple stuff for keyboard input, Windows management. Used to use libgdx. Oh, okay. So then you're familiar with the options. That's good. Excuse me. So what we're gonna do here, we're just gonna all right, we'll just do it this way. Add drawable. We're just gonna do it that way. We're gonna say all stack. All right. There we go. Okay. Yes, that all works really well. All right, so there's a line here that's caused by let's see, show numbering or stack any is selected and the card is numerable. Jacob Field says, I really need to hear that advice because I always find myself overthinking project ideas and after a couple of days just lack the motivation to keep working on them. Yeah, I can feel that. I think that motivation is one of those things where it's a lot easier to, like, you can Okay, you can easily overthink how to stay motivated. Like, it's easy to lose motivation, but it's also easy to kind of overthink how to stay motivated when there's a lot of things that you do naturally without motivation or without thinking about it. Like, you know, most people go to work and they don't have to think about motivation. They don't have to think about, like, I don't want to go to work. How do I make myself go to work? They need to go, so they do. No one has to motivate themselves to eat, usually, unless you're sick. And that's, I guess, a good example. If you were sick and you needed to eat to maintain your strength, what would you do to make yourself eat? You know, making it taste good. If, you know, you're sick and you lack appetite, making it taste good doesn't really help that much, but thinking about how important it is that you eat can be helpful, right? You know, maybe having someone else there to help you eat, you know, when you're sick, that's helpful. You know, having someone to drive you and be like, you need to eat something, etc., etc. So, like, you know, when you think of maintaining motivation kind of like that, it's like, okay, either you need to make yourself do it, you need to get someone else to help you do it, to help you make yourself do it, or that's it. Or you can just not have motivation and do it anyway, which is what a lot of people do for a lot of things that are necessary in life. You know, being an adult, you have responsibilities, you have things you need to do, and so you may not have the motivation to do it, but you end up doing it anyway. And that's the life. So it's kind of, oh, that's right, we were working on this. It's kind of one of those things where you just have to, like, make yourself do it, get someone else to help you make yourself do it, or do it without any motivation. I think making games might be a little tough because it's kind of like a long-form creative work. But as you work on it, I think it's easy to kind of get lost in, like, the minutia of it and not really think about it from the perspective of a player, where someone's like, dude, you made a game by yourself, or, you know, someone uninitiated with games, where they're like, oh, you made a game by yourself, that's insane. And you only think of it as, like, but I just spent, like, you know, it was just me banging my head against the wall for like 100 hours, 500 hours, 5,000 hours. Like, that's, you know, it's easy to kind of like make the amazing banal because of just the process of making games is familiar to people who make games. You look at code every day and you're like, this is just my own failings, when really to, you know, your players, a video game is it's magical, it's, you know, amazing, it's you know, insane that someone could come up with it if your players are, you know, good players. They're nice. So in any case, I think maybe just like appreciating the work that goes into making games in a appreciative way. Well, that's redundant, but basically appreciating the work that goes into games. You know, looking back on your months of work with, you know, code base that is, you know, ballooning and it's spaghetti code and all this, but then when you look at it and it's like, you know, I did this, I put this together. Having that appreciation can kind of boost your motivation and be like, you know, I did all of this, you know, that's great. That's you know, that's more than half. Even if you're less than half done, that's more than half, because you motivated yourself to work for months or years on a project. And, you know, having that appreciation of your past self can kind of boost your motivation. Lucretia says, I just finished a short hack and slash called Red Fantasies on my Twitter. Probably get a couple more small updates, but I consider it done. That's great. Great to see, great to hear. I'll have to check it out. I've been working on MasterPlan, you know, for the past few days, but I'd like to make a game really quickly, really soon. And I'd like it to be really small, some sort of adventure game or something where you have to kind of solve like a crime or something. I think it could be good. I have a general idea or general like concept, and I think it should be simple and really easy. I'd like to make it with Ebiton, or I'd like it to be really easy. So it's going to be something maybe like the size of one case in like a Phoenix Wright game, where it's like maybe an hour or two, something really small. Okay, so yeah, the core problem here is the core problem here is this, thusly, and card.numerable. So if the card is, if there aren't any numerable cards, so I guess it would be this actually. Something like that. Wait. There we go. Okay. That should kind of help us out. Lucretia says, one thing that did help me was to use an asset pack and then limited the scope to only those assets in the pack. That way I could be assured, I could ensure I didn't spiral out of control. Yeah, that's a good idea. Creating small games is surprisingly hard for me. I always want to do more and then I never finish. Don Duval says, maybe you already covered it, but any update on Equia? I know who I am. An adventure game I was working on that was big. Any update? No. No updates. I would like to go back to working on it, but at the same time, it being, something that's going to take, months to finish, kills my motivation to work on it. So I have to figure out how I can get back to it. This adventure game that I'm thinking about making, I don't want to create devlogs for it or anything like that. I just want it to be done and then create a trailer, to let people know I finished it, but I just want it to be done. I don't want to have to go through the process of announcing it and working on it and all that, because I don't know that it's going to be, I don't want to announce something and work on something visibly, publicly, for it to be abandoned. That said, Equia isn't abandoned. I think I just want to kind of refocus my approach on it. I feel like I would like to do it again, but not in Godot. I feel like I want to try it with Ebiton, because Ebiton has gamepad support now. There's really no reason not to, except for an animation editor. That's really the only thing that's kind of missing from, from my ability to make something with Ebiton, or just make something with a framework, is an animation editor. I feel like that's kind of key for cutscenes, for visual animations and stuff like that in a game. Okay, now this is fixed. That's good. Yeah, that's better. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Yeah, so cutscenes are important, and so I would like to make an animation editor, or would need an animation editor for Equia specifically, because there's kind of a lot of animations in the game. But I'd like to make it by hand with my code rather than with Godot. I just feel like I just would like to give it a shot. I think I could do it. So anyway, it's an idea. It's an idea. I'd like to give it a shot and see what I can do. But I guess before that, I would like to make this smaller game, just so I can kind of get the feel of how this would work, because it's making games takes a lot of time. Lucretia says, could you go for releasing episodes? That's an idea. That's an idea. I have to think about it. I think this small game would be a good kind of candidate for developing my workflow a little bit more. And maybe that's why I kind of had trouble with Equia, is I don't feel like I was working on Equia to kind of get used to Godot, but my workflow wasn't great, and I never really got great with it. It felt like I was just kind of slowly slowing down in terms of my flow, and I think that it's key that your flow remains smooth. It's key that your flow remains what's the word? Frictionless. It's key that the flow remains frictionless. If your workflow is kind of janky, if there's things that you want to fix but it is too hard, then it won't work out. Basically, it's just not going to work. Absolt says, are you upset with Biden? I don't have any feelings on political issues. Lucretia says, I haven't made anything that great though since I never finished, so it's better to make small games for now. Yeah, making small games is a art. Making and finishing games is an art. Making and finishing games is an art. I have to... Okay, that did work. I have to... Actually, let me go back. Hold on. Confirm when loading. Drag and drop plan. I'd like to add these two features as well. Also, close menu when loading. Okay, so there's so much I need to do. Let me commit the stuff I think I've done so far. This might be a good point to commit on. Let's see. This won't load, will it? No. This will. This will work. This will not. Let's not actually add them then. Okay. Let's see. Zoom. Fix camera. Zoom is normalized. Faz Pazzarino says, yo, what a surprise stream. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the stream. I haven't put this on YouTube actually, but my streaming schedule, I believe, should be consistent now. It should be Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Monday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. and Saturday at 6 p.m. I believe, but I'll make a video about that and put it on YouTube. But yeah, my streams should be pretty much normalized every week. It should be at least 3, if not more times a week. Close enough. Let's see, adding drawable system. You know what? Let's do this another way. We'll just do it like this. Can I get a word wrap? Thank you. System for Don Duval says, really appreciate your non-political stance. It is nice to have a place where we can focus on development and the woes of the world don't creep in. Yeah, I appreciate that as well. Yes, that is important, I believe. Yeah, I don't even want to get into like politics. It's completely just unimportant in the I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to say something that like makes people get up in arms or anything like that. I have no opinion on political matters. Lucretia says, if you like game dev streams, I watch this dude called Bluish Green Productions on Twitch. Did an interview with him yesterday. Oh, okay. If you want a streamer to play your games, he's your guy. Interesting. Oh, Lucretia's game is a little brutal. Oh, I have to try it out. I gotta see how hard it is. Okay, let's see. Cards are placed on the grid. Okay. Bruh, can you put it over here? Ambient Revolution says, you still on Solus? Been a while since I watched and your setup changed a bit, it seems. Hello, welcome to the stream, firstly. Yeah, if it has been a while, thank you very much for stopping by again. No, I'm not on Solus anymore. This is Manjaro. This is Manjaro Linux. So it's a nice, clean, simple, visually, non-distracting. Yeah, visually non-distracting desktop. It's nice and smooth, nice and clean. It's yeah, it's problem free. I like it a lot. Really recommend it. But Solus is also great. Solus is also great. I don't know why it's always opening in the right hand side. Can I do it like this maybe? No. Okay. You know what? Let's just do it like this. I will place this into a new window. I'll put this on the side. Okay. Let's see. Enable editing. Changing. I wish you could see both, but unfortunately, this is just the way it is. Changing checkbox / note labels resizes them only when editing. That's the changes that we did there. What else? Migration of settings. Yeah. Event log. Stepa says, "Hey man, long time no see. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it has been a while. Welcome, welcome." Lucretia says, "How long are you going to be streaming until?" Probably till around 11. I usually go for a couple hours. Yeah, so probably around 11 or so. Removing color from text renderer. Render text. Let's see, globals. Okay. Grid. GUI. Adding checkbox. Okay. And text renderer dot. Okay, so this will have to do. All right, let's commit that. All right, so let's go back. I have to migrate the rest of, No, I have to migrate the rest of the program settings. Program settings over. That's most important, I think. Close this. There we go. Stepa says, what happened to Equia? So Equia is it's basically paused because I definitely want to finish it. I definitely want to make it, but it's a little bit of a big game, and I didn't really like my workflow. I didn't really like my code or the flow of working on Equia. It didn't feel it didn't feel good. I felt like I was kind of slowing down. So what I'm gonna do is take some time to work on other things. I'm gonna come back to Equia as basically my next big project, my next big or current big game project. I haven't really abandoned it. I'm just trying to basically find out how I can make it kind of smoother and simpler. I was just talking about this with chat, but essentially, I felt kind of like Godot was a little. I felt like the flow wasn't quite like there. I felt like the workflow wasn't quite there. That could be my personal workflow because I was doing some things with Godot that were a little unusual. But it could also be an issue with the engine itself. So what I'm going to probably try to do is make see if I can make a small game without, going into it on YouTube and stuff like that with a devlog or streaming. I want to see if I can make a small game by myself first. And if I can do that, and it's going to be probably similar to Equia in that it's going to be a little creepy. It's going to be, unsettling. It's going to be, I think, kind of like an adventure game where you solve a crime or something like that. But it's going to be way smaller than Equia because Equia kind of ballooned. It kind of got bigger as you explored, as I was making the city, because it's like, you want to make something that's cool, to explore. So you make the city, and then you have to have NPCs to populate the city, and then you have to have, problems to solve to necessitate why they're there. So it just kind of got bigger and bigger. So what I'm probably going to do is kind of start with a very fixed game, maybe just a few rooms, a few screens, and try to make it interesting to play, and maybe make it just like an hour, 30 minutes, a really small game, and see if I can just get it done. It will probably be made with Ebiton in Go. That's where I feel like I'll see if I can do it. So we'll see. If you see something by maybe mid-September, that would be good. A couple of weeks, ideally. September, 15th, the end of September, sometime in this month. If I can get it done, then we'll be good. And yeah, and I would probably use MasterPlan to kind of plan it out. Lucretia says the Godot workflow is something that took me a bit to get used to, but now that I get it, I can't really go back, not gonna lie. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's different. It's definitely interesting, and I feel like I might not have really gotten or really taken advantage of nodes as heavily as I should have, or alternatively, I should not have taken advantage of them at all. I think I was in kind of a middle ground where I tried to do some things with nodes, but then I didn't do everything with nodes. Like the player was largely like a single script on the player object, but NPCs were like NPC objects, NPC nodes that had like brain nodes that had like script nodes in them, and it was just unnecessarily like it felt inconsistent. And I think that's the problem I had, was just I wasn't consistent. I should have done everything with nodes, or I should have done nothing with nodes. But by having both, it was just kind of like weird, and I feel like that might have been indicative of more problems with my project, where it kind of needs to be consistent, or it needs to be consistent in whatever direction I go in, and I wasn't consistent. I think that's where maybe my the friction came from the most. But yeah, I would have to revisit it and kind of revamp it, but I'd like to. I think I'd like to go back and either recreate it from scratch, which I think I could do because I still have obviously all the assets, or just recreate it in Godot and try to like fix the issues that I had. Or not recreate it, but just fix the issues that I was having. Where are we at here? Yeah, project settings. That's what I'm doing. I always get distracted. So here's what we're gonna do. We have, if we go to globals, we have a project settings here, program settings, and this is where we used to have our old program settings that was struct with its own variables. It had its own like saving system and stuff like that. We don't really need that anymore. Yeah, so we're just gonna nuke that. We're just gonna nuke that entire thing. We're gonna save this, clean up recent plan list, because we will have a recent plan list, but everything else can kind of get destroyed. Yeah, and so this is our new program settings, which is basically just a list or a series of strings indicating basically the name of the property, and it's a properties object, which is basically just kind of like a key value pair system, more or less, where each property within the property struct has is basically just a pair of string to the property itself, which is just basically the data it contains, more or less. But the upside of this is, if done correctly, hopefully this will kind of take out the need. Well, let me see if I can kind of illustrate this a little bit. Let me pull up a sprite just real quick. Steam has to load. It's connecting. There we go. All right, so basically the problem was if we have like a checkbox, right? And so it's like, okay, you check it off. This basically says, okay, you check off, so let's go to the property and set the property to be checked off. But then if you load it from the property, then we have to go ahead and reset the checkbox. This is kind of bad because you have to have two sets of code basically working here, when in truth the easier way to do this is to have something like this, where the checkbox has a property that it's referring to, and when you click it, it basically just reverses the property on the checkbox, and the checkbox reverses the property that's tied to the checkbox, and then it just basically displays whether it's true or false. So if we go ahead and we can't visualize this, unfortunately, because I deleted well, let's go back and undelete this stuff. There we go. So if we go back and run this, for example, this checkbox is the kind of the poster child for this process. But if we head over to the config folder for MasterPlan, which I'm doing off screen here, let me just move this over. There we go. So we go to settings.json. So here's the settings file. That's the new property. If we go ahead and if we go ahead and click this, you see always show numbering just turns false. And then if we set this to true and close and reopen, then the checkbox will be checked again. So it's basically just naturally synced, because the checkbox isn't setting the property, or the checkbox sets the property when it's activated, but it's not like when we load the project we have to go back and set the checkbox to be activated or not. We don't have to do that because the checkbox is just displaying the property's value. That's good. That means it's a much simpler approach than before. So it's a little bit of a combination of reusing code that we already have, which means we don't need our own program setting struct specifically, and also kind of simplifying things and getting GUI to kind of like combine efficiently with our saving system. Lucretia says, wait, Fez says, I think for the way you usually like to work, it's better if you port Equia to SDL instead and move forward from there. Godot is amazing, but it's not for everybody's tastes. Same for any other game engine. Lucretia says, nah, with Godot, one big issue is that you absolutely need to give in to the node system for it to be good. Yeah, I kind of appreciate that. Yeah, it's not object oriented. Also having problems with the 3D workflow of Godot. I hope that you can finish Equia that day, or one day. That art style was unique. Yeah, I appreciate that. I think I can do it. It's just a matter of, it's just a matter of trying to figure out the easiest, simplest approach. It's a little bit confusing. Yeah, it's good, but it's there's definitely good parts to it. It's just a matter of kind of getting there is a little bit of an issue, a little tough. Going for a run. All right, enjoy your run, Lucretius. You're probably gone by now. Let's see. Jacob Field says, I like that it's component based, but it's a little confusing. OOP versus ECS. What's my favorite band? I listen to a lot of people. Chromio's good at, like, you know, well, let me pull up Spotify real quick. I'm not gonna play anything, but I just want to see what do I listen to. Chromio is, you know, great for like dance stuff. You got Mode Step, you got Pendulum, you got The Midnight, you got She music, you have Goji, you have Shirobone, you have Virtual Riot, you have Tiny Waves and Bear Cave, you have Initial Talk, you have Medion, you have, and these are just electric, you have Voia, Voia, you have C2C, you have Calvin Harris, you have Trey Frey, you have Cubby, Kubbi. Shout out to Cubby for absolute bangers. Haywire, insane. Disclosure, Castle Carousel, Bomb Boy, Zinger, Simon Stalenhag, C-Jeff, Uppermost, Draper, Luther, Adam Tell. You got a lot of people. The Midnight is ridiculous 80s music. Absolutely love it. It's the most 80s possible, basically. But yeah, there's a lot of great people I listen to. If you're talking about like alternative bands, let me find them. Coma Recovery is like they had a few songs I listened to, and I still have it on my Spotify here. On where's it at? I can't even find it. Where's it at? Is it here? It is here. Coma Recovery, Godverb, Goddverb. That album, it's just like 3 songs, was like, it's like just insane, not math rock, but like expansive brain rock. It's really good. And then in 2018, I guess they had an album called Apotheosis, which is fantastic. It's not nearly as like, it's more kind of traditional, I guess you could say, a little bit more traditional, but still sounds like them, and it's great. Great album. And so I was just gonna say, it's always like interesting to listen to an artist or something from like years ago, or pull up their album from 2012, and it's like, man, this is really good. And then you see they have like a 2018 or 19 album, and it's like, this is also banger. It's like, this is banger. It's always fun. So anyway, check out Godverb. Or I'm sorry, Coma Recovery rather. Starset, Monster is a great song. It's interesting to me because I don't have I like alternative music a lot, but I don't listen to alternative music very much. Or I haven't listened to alternative music very much, or just didn't have access to it, or wasn't really interested in getting access to more alternative music back in like before 2015, 16, 17, 15, yeah, around there. So in other words, there's people who are like, oh man, like 2012, this album from 2012, 9 Inch Nails or whatever, is like, it was, my high school, and I remember listening to it, and it was so cringe. And I'm finding it now, and it's like, dude, this is banger. Like, this is sick. So I'm just like listening to like super cringe teen angst rock and being like, yo, this goes, and it's just fun. Whereas everyone else is like, dude, this is like 10 years old. I'm like, yo, this is new to me. So anyway, it's just it's fun to find like old stuff. That's it. It's fun to find old stuff. So what we need to do is move the key bindings. I'm trying to think about how best to do this, because the key bindings needs to be saved alongside the rest of everything else. Although I guess it could be its own properties list. No, we need to serialize. How do key bindings serialize? When it's marshaled, it just turns into a string. Why do we even marshal it? Well, this is unnecessary. We can just serialize. And it just turns into a string. Serialize, deserialize. Okay, so the key bindings serializes and deserializes into and out of a string. So we could let's do something like this. And then go to main. And this automatically sets default, yeah. Alright, that's not gonna work. Alright, so that will be fine. We don't need old program settings anymore. Save window position. I'll have to come back to that one later in a little bit. I gotta figure out how to approach rectangles. Maybe. Ambient Revolution says, what extensions do you use to get GNOME so clean? I really like it. Thank you. Although I didn't do a lot of this. Wait a second. Let me make sure I can see. Alright, cool. Yeah, let me check. What's it called? Extensions. Yeah. So just blur my shell. With Manjaro, just blur my shell and this sound input and output chooser, device chooser. Everything else is disabled except for updates indicator, unite, user themes. So yeah, just user themes and blur my shell. That's basically it. This dock is Plank. The dock is Plank, and this is just Manjaro on the most recent GNOME. It's yeah, very, very, very smooth. Let's see. Okay, so we're making progress here. We're making progress. So we're moving everything over to the new setting. So settings. There we go. We can just use key bindings like so. Lou Peabody says, dude, the new disclosure rules so much. Oh man, does he have a new one? I've been listening to where are we at here? Disclosure Dua Mali Mali. That's disclosure and Fatu Mata Diawara. Diawara. Like that's a banger. You and Me is also kind of a banger. I gotta listen to his new stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Never Enough. Oh snap! I don't even know if this was. When did this come out? Never Enough came out 2 weeks ago. Wait, what? Bro, it might have come out literally like a day after I added this to my Spotify. That's crazy. Like it might have, like, when I don't think this was even there, dude. Oh, Flume also is really good. Flume, his electronic music is great. Check out Cubby, everybody, if you can. Absolutely fantastic, like ridiculous chiptune electro. It's just, please support him. He's so good. Cubby is just like where I want to be, dude. Wait, I'm getting messages. I gotta see, are any of them? It's a good messages. Good messages. All right, the top 10 scariest things for a coder is this. It is a brick of red, because like, you know, you're gonna have to be changing everything. So something I haven't really considered is, do we even really need project local settings? That's the kind of thing that I oh wait, itches here. Do we really even need project local settings? That's kind of something I've been thinking about. Because in the previous version of MasterPlan, you go to settings and you have global settings and you have other settings, right? So global settings are things like volume, the sample rate of sound, you know, the UI, or rather the theme, rather, you know, that kind of stuff. And then the general settings are like whether, you know, how many backups you want to keep, whether the grid is visible, whether the project is locked. Most of these are global. Like maximum undo steps is probably something that should be global. Backing up your project is probably something that should be global. Screenshots path, that's local. Whether the project is locked could be local. Autosave could be global. Everything in here about visualization could be global. So there's really only shortcuts, which are global. These global things, and like these two local settings. So we don't really need project settings. We should be able to get by without them. Let's go down here. So this is just using the key bindings. We're gonna simplify this by saying we just want key bindings to be, we don't have to do that. We can just delete this. So what we're gonna do is just do a quick find and replace. Yeah. There we go. All right, next we're gonna go over to GUI over here. Same thing, we're just gonna find and replace this. All right, we're good. We're just gonna nuke them. Main, go back over here. This is what we're working on. Get. So when you get a property, we need to get it as a number. So yeah, we don't have to use that. We'll use this. eBoat Right says, I hate coding UI. Oh, this is supposed to be cool. There we go. I hate coding UI, inventory, and crafting systems, which is really bad if you're making a survival game. That's, yeah, that does seem like it's a bad idea, or just a general tough thing to deal with. This is unfocused, yeah. Right, so this is where we got to figure out how we're gonna do this. So we're gonna say settings set, or rather get settings window position dot settings save window position dot as bool, then program settings dot set or get settings window position dot set. So I don't know how this is going to work, because this is gonna save as a rectangle, which when we pull it back might end up being a map. of X, Y, width, and height, just like this. We'll have to see when we get it. It might just end up being a map. I don't know. If that is what it ends up being, that's fine. Program settings. Git settings download directory dot set. Or no, dot as string. There we go. Okay, we're almost there. Selection. Key bindings. All right. Oh, we're almost there. I think this is more key binding stuff. Yeah. Common. O's. This is, they're both the same. All right, so we'll just say custom font path. All right, we're almost there. Did it load? It does. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Let's close this out. When we go to save the program settings, which is this, we can make it so that basically we save when a property changes, we save the properties, the program settings, to the config file path, which is this save location. But we also can place the key bindings in there. So we're gonna do something like this. Props dot. Wait, how do we want to do this? Because the key bindings need to be, they don't need to be in here, but they could be in here. Wait, pardon me? What? Let me old settings. Got it. Okay, so load properties load. Okay, if error is equal to nil. If it can't load, then we will just. How do we want to approach this? If file exists path, then we want to load. Okay, let's close. Take a look here. Oh, it didn't. Okay. So we want to probably save it then. So if it doesn't load, it's saved there. Okay, here's the new settings. I'm not sure how the old settings from just a few minutes ago was here. Anyway, I guess that was before. I guess that was the old program settings. Okay, so here's what we got. So we have the version of MasterPlan, and then we got the properties, which is this. Key bindings can be dang, how do I want to approach this? Because we want to save the key bindings in here, I think. That seems like it would be fine. There's no reason to have a separate key bindings JSON. But we might just end up having a separate key bindings JSON. Maybe we will. Maybe that'll be fine. Because it is a separate object, so I guess that makes sense. So how would that work? Well, I guess we can approach this when we actually go to edit the key bindings, when we actually go to save and load them. We're not there yet. There's no UI to change the key bindings, so I guess we're fine. I guess we're fine. Float 64, not int. Okay, it doesn't like that. All right. Let's see. Eboat Right says, I've been working on my inventory and crafting system for 2 days now, and I'm still not done. Yeah, I feel you. It's tough, dude. I hope that things work out. Bruh. Yeah, I hope that everything works out. No one likes, like, UI stuff when it works well is nice, but it's kind of like a thankless job in that, like, it's kind of tough to. All right, sorry for the strobe there, but I needed to test it out. Okay, getting better and better, slowly but surely. See, this is so sick, dude. Like, could you imagine if you were making? I don't remember which it is. Is it Castlevania? I don't remember which Castlevania game it is, but there's a Castlevania game where like the map like rotates 180 degrees, where it's upside down. I think, right? I think that's the thing. Is it? I think that's the thing. But so, like, could you imagine if you were planning out your game and you're like, okay, now I got to make sure like it works when you flip it, or like, you know, does this work? Yes. Okay. So then what if we were to flip it around? Does this work? You know, can we approach it from 180 degrees rotated? Or what if we were to move parts of the map around? Like, you know, having this level of control is so good for planning. So you can see, like, you know, where would things fit better? You know, would this area fit better here, or, you know, does this area fit maybe here? Yeah, so it's very nice. It's very nice. Yeah, so this is working well. You can undo the loading process of the project, which is bad, so we need to fix that. You can undo project loading. Man, I know why it's happening. That needs to be fixed. All right, so this is roughly done, but now we need to migrate over or fix allow for key binding editing / saving and loading. Okay. All right. Well, this is going pretty well. Let's keep it pushing. Design world. Okay, we're good. All right, that's working. Excuse me. Where's my numbering thing? Waiter. Okay, so the new cards don't get numbered, but the old ones do? What? But now it works? What did I... what? The cool one says, "What's up? Hello. Hi, welcome to the stream. Just stopping by to say hi. Glad to see MasterPlan is still going on strong. What's up?" Yeah, thank you very much for stopping by. Really well appreciated. Always great to see long-time users or long-time subscribers popping into the channel. And I say that, you know, with you, I'm not sure how long you've been subscribed, but I know that you've been on the stream. You've popped in the stream before quite a few times. Okay, this is bugging. It was bugging just once. I'm not sure why it's not bugging now, because I didn't really do anything. What about labels for portals and scene changes? Devs will need to change around if they're playing around with moving parts of the map. I probably would need to add the linking system, but it is possible to place things on top of. Well, this is. I know why why this is happening, but you know what? Let me fix that. Hold on. I guess actually the numbering in the stack. But yeah, I need to like add linking between cards. That way you can like have a note, or maybe a little icon indicating a portal, and then you can link it to another portal, and then you can just move them around. But this is already better because things stay on top of maps now compared to the previous version. Before, when you clicked on a card, it would pull it forward. Well, I don't even remember how, because it didn't work correctly in the previous version. Like it was jank. So like you create a map and then you create something else, you can place it on the map, but if you like under certain circumstances the object would be behind the map. Or I guess it just always is in front of the map. I don't know. Someone else was having issues with this, but I'm not sure what their problem was. I don't remember. I have to look at the Steam forum. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Like you can't really click on objects. Like I can't click on the checkbox because the map, despite being behind it, is like there. Yeah, it's a little wonky. In comparison, this is much smoother. I can always click on the checkbox. So yeah, in answer to your question, it should be better. In this version, you would just basically place two doors or whatever, you know, whatever little icon you choose to represent portals, and then you can just link them through some method and then just drag them around. I need to make it so that if you drag a map, the objects on the map also move. I have to figure out if I want to do that, and if so, how I want to approach that. Maybe just notes should extend a map. Extend a stack. Well, yeah, I don't know quite how I want to approach this. I mean, like, could this be a? Would you want this? I mean, I guess it's someone might. I don't know. Like maybe you have like, you know, I mean like, you know, maybe you have like complete this map maybe. Like I guess, I mean like I'm just CamZX says this UI is so clean. Yeah, thank you. It's I feel like it's definitely getting better. Also, you can't click the buttons because of the... Can't click the buttons of the map because the checkbox is in the way. We can make it so that the contents get drawn. I'll have to think about that. That's an issue for another day. Yeah, maybe I'll just restrict it so that nothing can extend a list except for completable things. Well, because someone might want an image, that's like, or a map or something like that to be part of the stack, and they don't want to have, like, you know, this where it's like 1 2 3 1. They want to have 1 2 3 4, and this works fine except for... Well, I guess this works fine. Yeah, I guess this is not a problem. It's working the way it should. Okay. Why is this taking so long to... Hold on. For some reason, it takes a long time to save. CamZX says, just have something to detect if something is connected, and then move the tabs to an open spot. That's an idea. I feel like maybe that is the way we'll do things, actually. For some reason, this is fast now, but it's slow later. Is it when I move the card? Move maps? That's an idea. That's an idea. I gotta think about it. Eboat Right says, I finally got my inventory and crafting system working. Fantastic. Yeah, it is. I feel like it is slightly slower by a few frames. I'm wondering if I'm generating undo states. But I mean, I don't think that would be an issue. Yeah, it's definitely appreciably slower. So as I do stuff, I'm generating undo states, which is fine. I don't really think that's an issue that I'm generating undo states as I do things, but rather after this, when I go to do things that, well, yeah, for some reason it's slowing down. I gotta see what the issue could be. So let's take a look at, so the checkbox. Oh, Eboat Right has to go. Goodbye. Thank you very much for stopping by the stream. Well, appreciate it. Yes, appreciate it indeed. So the issue here, enumerable. wait, let me think. So we go to, so deserialize, properties deserialize, okay. Go to settings. If we change a property, then we save the property, and the property save is relatively simple. Okay, let's do this again. Let's do this again, but we're gonna do this as like, what's the word? Scientifically as possible. We're gonna go to the update loop of the card, and we're gonna say if globals.keybindings.on add to selection card.x map.sign map.sign what's the time all right, something like this. All right, so as I'm holding shift, the card is moving very slightly left and right, as you can see. And it's creating undo states. So we'll just go ahead and make sure this is actually happening. Make sure this is actually doing what we expect it to do. Okay, so we're filling up the undo buffer. Let me also pull up the system monitor. All right, so MasterPlan is sitting at 93 megabytes of RAM, 96, 97, 98. 99. Okay, so now we go to settings. Well, that's still fast. So it's not the undo buffer. Is it? I don't. It doesn't seem like it's an undo buffer. Let's take a look at maybe the test that we've been doing here. Is it a matter of RAM or? Let's see. RAM is up there. It's not too high. It's rising slowly. Yeah, it's a little laggy. But it doesn't seem like it's tied to undo buffer size, because I'm hitting insane numbers here. 1142 frames in the undo buffer. And it's a little laggy when I click, but there was something I was doing that was making it extremely laggy, and I'm not sure what that was. Like, just doing this was enough. Fashion Killer says, "Hi all, hello, welcome to the stream." Yeah, click. Yeah, it's definitely laggy. But why is it laggy? It's not using up an insane amount of memory. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, because I don't know quite what to make of it. We're gonna actually do this the correct way, and we're going to profile this. Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. Remove these old profile bits of information. We're going to first load up this project. Let's make sure this is working. So we're gonna press F5, profiling begun. Profiling finished. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and open up a new terminal. I'm wondering like why. Okay, I'm not sure why it's like why this on the side, but because you can see them. Anyway, we're gonna use Gold Tool pprof, and it's going to be CPU. Yeah, CPU pprof. Okay, can I get a SVG? You know what? Give me an SVG, I guess. All right, let's see if we can load this up. Oh, well, GIMP is fine, I guess. It's fine. Okay, I need just better. Can I get a better quality? Can you render it out to maybe like, yeah, like a solid 10 times the size? Bruh. It just made it 10 times bigger, but not actually. It didn't render at 10 times the resolution. All right, what about 180 pixel resolution? It's not. I don't think that's better. Do I need to do both? Can I get 2 times the size, and can I get 300 pixels per inch and like 4? No. Okay, fine. It's just not gonna happen with the GIMP. All right. Can I open it with just image viewer? Does that work? That does work. Okay. All right. So as we can see, the time is going into drawing the page, and it's going to rendering, and then it's going to the Seago call, which is fine. There's no real problems there. But now what we want to do is do this again, but after basically we get to the point where it's like laggy, which should be pretty quick. It might be something to do with maps, but I don't think so. This is programming. Okay. Yeah, click, 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 click. All right, so it actually is like noticeably slow. So let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna start profiling. All right, now the profiling is finished. So now we have CPU prof again. So we will run it. I need a SVG, and now we have another SVG file. So this is our original. This is our control essentially. Now if we open this with image viewer, we see it's very different, right? Like before, it was kind of like a web. Now we see it's kind of more like a line that goes straight down. So we can see. It took 11 seconds of samples, or 10 seconds of. In 10 seconds, it took 11 seconds worth of samples, I guess. All right, so it's going down there, serializing the property, set options, set byte options, set append raw paths, slice malloc, garbage collection. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. There's not. Usually, if this works, you'll be able to see like where the time is going. There's not really anything out of the ordinary here. It's not about allocating memory. Yeah, we're not hitting up against memory concerns. Why is it so laggy? Also, I think I found thought of a better like GUI thing for this. This should be probably like surrounded by another circle. I don't know if I'll be able to do donut. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so this is basically exactly correct. Yeah. There we go. Oh, all right. Let's see if we can we fit this in here? Like exactly. Okay. Let's see. Do we want to make it bigger? I think we do. Also, this is off topic. Like, this is completely off topic. Forgive me for trying to have a little fun in my development cycle. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out here what the issue could be, but I'm not sure. Let's see. So the problem is it's slowing down when we click on anything, though, isn't it? Maybe it's not specifically when we click on. Is it still running? It is. Dude, it's like glacial now. Is it just about how long it is? 1/1000. Wait, 1/1000, 2/1. Okay, let's come back a little bit later and see if it is literally just about time. It might be something else going on. It might be that simple. It was a little under 2 seconds when we last tried it. That looks so jank. Maybe we can kind of like, can we kind of clean that up on the edges? Yeah. And then this goes here. Looks, I'm not gonna say good. I'm gonna say bad. It looks bad. I think it needs to be at least a little smaller. What if we were to shave this off? Free says, don't know who you are or what this is. Hi, well, welcome to the stream. What's up? Hello, welcome. Thanks for popping in. I'm SolarLune. I'm an independent game developer and musician and stuff like that. And I am currently working on a program called MasterPlan. It is a graphical idea planner and project planner. So if you make games, you might find it useful. Basically, that's kind of the long and short of it. Right now I'm designing this little sprite because we're kind of waiting for some results. We're running into an issue where, that's pretty good. We're running into an issue where this takes a long time, basically changing settings, and we're trying to figure out why. 1/1000, 2/1000, 3/1. Yeah, 1/1000, 2/1000. Yeah, it's definitely longer. So it seems like it might be tied to time. But I'm not sure why. Anyway, this is the tool. We'll investigate that in a little bit. But this is the tool. Wait. 80 megabytes. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, this is the tool, so you can type stuff in it. You can like resize stuff. It's free form, so you can place things kind of where you wish. So it's kind of like Trello, if you can imagine Trello, or something similar to that, but not really fixed, not as constraining as Trello or Hack and Plan, something like that. Yeah, it's basically a project planning tool for indie developers and creators and creative people. Links in the description to anyone who wishes to check it out. Hunt's Lantern, hello. How's it going, Hunter? Did I show you we were working on a WR logo on a t-shirt? You did not. I have not seen that. Oh, what is... Yeah, it's laggy, dude. Even... Okay, so clicking and dragging the task is laggy. This is super laggy now. Yeah. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1. Yeah, it's super laggy, dude. So it's not specific. Well, let's see if we can. Maybe it's bad enough that we can profile it now. Let's give it a shot. I should just leave profiling it in, because I'll have to do this sometimes. We'll start it before, and then use this to kind of tank the frames. Zyodic says hello, welcome. Thank you very much for stopping in. How's everything going on your side? Let's see. Let's use pprof again. Yeah, let's use pprof again with SVG. Let's see if we can take a look at this one. It still says not really anything of note. Okay. It's slowing down when we click. It does seem like I have a memory leak. It was 280 before. It's 286.7, 286.9, 287.2. Maybe we do have maybe we have a memory leak. I guess we do. I guess we have a memory leak. Maybe that's what's going on. Yeah. Wait, what? 350? What? Wait, it was 287. 353. What happened? All right, we must have a memory leak. Let's go ahead and try this. What we're gonna do, let's close this. We're gonna go ahead and run this, but we're gonna just go ahead and try to like spam checkboxes. It's probably better if they did not all belong to the same stack. Let's do something like this. All right, definitely slower. All right, let's take a look at the monitor again. 225, 244, 296, 341. So there is some sort of leak. There's a leak going on. Yeah, and now it's super slow. Also, can we get a shout out to this little graphic? It looks pretty nice now. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. But setting that aside, we're kind of dying. We will save this so that we don't have to do this again, because we're kind of getting to the bottom of it. This is a slowdown test, I guess we'll call it. That's fine. We can save it there. We'll close it. All right, so we're making some progress here. So what we need to do is figure out exactly why this is kind of dying. Where's the memory going? There's no real way to know that. It could be in this stack. Let's see, update. Do we ever make a new stack anywhere else? Hunt's Lantern says, "Oh, was that the check mark you were working on earlier?" Yeah, that's the check mark. So it's already in there, and it looks pretty good. It's better than it used to be, very slightly, but it's a nice little improvement. New stack. So the issue here. All right, here's what we're gonna do, because I'm not sure exactly where. Wait. Maybe. Oh, well, could that be that slow? But there's a memory leak though. It must be in the stack. It must be in the stack. Because that's the thing that I've been working on most recently. So at some point we call stack.update here. And this must be it. When we call when is update stacks set? When we lock position on a card. I guess I should say, like, I'm trying to see where exactly this is happening. I think that it might be happening. Yeah, we're not calling update stacks anymore. We only call it initially as necessary. Although it's slower than I would like there. And we're still leaking memory. We're not updating stacks. How are we leaking so much memory? I feel like these two things are tied together. So let's go ahead and take a look at man, I'm just not sure where, like, to even begin here. Settings.get, always show numbering. Checkbox. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Menu system dot. All right, we're just gonna try this. Menu system. Project. Draw. Like, forgive me for being extremely, like, basic with my troubleshooting here. Okay, menu system update, project, and then menu system draw. All right. So now when we click on settings, we click on this. Now menu system update. Okay, so it's freezing when we on this. Could it be freezing when we go to? Well, it must be freezing on the update. Let's see. Menu update. Let's see here. Yeah, it's definitely freezing on the start. Okay, so, or in here. So I think the issue, if we go to GUI, oh, this is the wrong one. Hunter says, I don't understand what you're doing, so your basic is looking technical and advanced to me. Oh, thank you. Not thank you, but I appreciate that. Yeah, well, even from my perspective, like what I'm doing to troubleshoot this is like super simple and crude. It's not quite. Okay, yeah. So like click checkbox, click start, and then the end comes super late. So you can see click start. There's the end. So that's bad. This is just setting a property. So why is it taking so long? So property.set is just this. It calls property.onChange and properties.onChange. Is it just saving the file? Is that it? Let's see. Is it just this? I mean, we're not syncing state in. We're not doing that much. I'm not sure why this is so slow. Lucretia says music change. Yep, sorry about that. I've been lost in the sauce a little bit. Let's go with this one. You know what? Nah, what's... I'm trying to see what other... Alright, we haven't listened to this in a while. Okay, that works. Load project. Slow down test. Okay, so it is the saving process, but what is taking so long? Let's see. The song goes in the piano, yeah. Yeah, it kind of does. Man, I need to add the ability to drag and drop. That would be so much faster. Whoops. Oh, I forgot to do that. I forgot to do this. Hold on. I need to go to grid rather. Okay. Okay, that does work. What we do need to do then is there we go. So wait, you saw that? Save start. Property serialized. Files write, start, end, and save end. So the saving process of properties. Let's close the other stuff. The saving, so it's just. Is it the serialization? But serializing the isn't the serializing the property super easy? I'm bugging because it's like, hold on, prop string. All right, that way I just want to see what we're getting here. Also, did I drag and drop? Keep that up. So what is it the rectangle? Yo, is it the rectangle? No, it couldn't be the rectangle. What's taking? Let's see. I don't. It's insane to me because there's something that's taking a long time to serialize, and I don't know what it is. Like which one of these specifically is taking a long time to serialize? Let's see. Excuse me? What? I think what must be happening. CamZX says it's the triangle. I don't know what that is referring to. I think what must be happening is wait, definition order. Yo, this is insidious. Yo. This is insidious. Okay. This is a Pogger moment. This is Pog. I was like, okay, so the way that my property system works. Okay, now I'm happy I did this. I'm happy I did this where I moved the project settings over to this system because this system is also what backs the cards, tasks, and their properties. So when you edit a property on a task, you know, you change the size, well, not really change the size, but you change the contents, you know, you check off a checkbox, you change a map, whatever, it does this. Now, whenever we call get on a properties object to get an individual property, we run through this code and we say basically, is this property, does it exist? And if so, if not, let's make a new property so that we don't error out, and then we return it. But this is where I ran into issues. Properties.definitionOrder equals append properties.definitionOrder name. And so this is meant to basically say like, okay, when you define a property, you're defining it in a certain order so that when we go ahead and loop through it for serialization, it's always in the same order, because otherwise, you know, you save your file and sometimes, you know, a property would be at the top, and other times it'd be at the bottom, because otherwise you're looping through a map which is unordered. But we're adding the name to the definition order every time we get the property. That's why the game slows. That's why MasterPlan slows down over time. That's why there's a memory leak. That's why saving is super slow. It's all because of this. That's crazy. That's it. I mean, like, that is that one little fix, and it's like, okay, now everything should be fine. You know what? Let's undo everything in this file. Except, well, not everything. We just want to undo till we start printing stuff out, which is right there. Okay. Yeah. So basically, why was this such an issue? This should be here instead of there. Like that's literally it. And there's no other place we create a new property, is it? No, that's it. Okay. So like the game, like MasterPlan would be running slow on people's computers. You know, saving is like god awfully slow. All that stuff, all because of this one little problem. Bonk, 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 bonk. Bonk, 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 bonk. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, Mugreach is it's the little things. Yeah, it's the little things, dude. It's the little things. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. Now this is slow. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about that, because it's just drawing lines and, you know, stuff. It's just drawing things. So I don't know if there's much I can do on that front. But fortunately, drawing the actual individual objects isn't slow. It's just drawing. Or no, wait, is it? Is 60 FPS? It might not be 60 FPS. I feel like it's not 60 FPS. Maybe it's not. Anyway, we solved that. At the very least, we solved that. That's cool. How many checkboxes is this? 1, 2, this is 10? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 by 4, that's 32, 320 checkboxes. Okay. Kamzia says, waste time when you don't have the time to be waiting for it to load during a jam or crunch to finish by deadline. Saved. Yeah, that's ideally it. I mean, that's the entire point of this project. Is it's supposed to be fast. It's supposed to be smooth. It's supposed to be smooth. I gotta figure out how I can boost the FPS. I think it's running a little slowly here. This isn't that many objects. I gotta figure out a way to kind of limit the amount of draw calls, which I should be able to do with. Let me see if I still have it. I do not. Let me see if I have it on my other drive. It's a program called. What's it called? Programs. RenderDoc. Might be able to pull up RenderDoc. I'm not sure if it'll run on this, but we'll see. RenderDoc. 2020. Is there a new version? This is a little old. Yes. Okay. So this is old by a few releases. Looks like I'll get the new version. But basically RenderDoc is a program that you use to profile the graphical aspect of applications. Rendering. There we go. Let's see if we can launch MasterPlan with this. So we're going to need a build. All right, there's our build, which is let's see, 9.5 megabytes. You gotta love it. Smash Battle says, how's it going? It's going good. Thanks for stopping by, Smash Battle. Hello. How's everything going on your side? I'm trying to run MasterPlan, but it doesn't seem to be running unless... Oh, there it goes. Okay. Was I just not double clicking? I guess I wasn't double clicking. Okay. All right, so there's our executable. It works fine. So what we want to do, we can close this, is see if we can attach RenderDoc. Attach RenderDoc to our application. I think we can just plonk. Let's see if we can launch it. Context not created via create context attributes. Capturing disabled. Only OpenGL 3.2 contexts are supported. Okay. So then this won't work. An unsupported version of OpenGL. Okay. Not sure if there's much we can do about that. It would be great if there was, though. Let's see. When we launch the application, yeah, we're not using Vulkan. So it knows I'm using a different version of OpenGL. Hunter says, "How am I enjoying Destiny?" I am enjoying it. It's fun. It's the slow process of oh yeah, I gotta re-implement this. Okay. Re-implement auto-load recentness. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll be able to do this. I'm enjoying it. Destiny is fun. It's fun to just like grind and get better gear and get better shaders for your outfits and stuff like that, so you look cooler. It's kind of crazy because that's basically like the game. A lot of the game is kind of what I wanted to do a while ago. I had a game idea that I would like to make, where basically you control a character who adventures through randomly generated dungeons and gets different gear, which is like different outfits and weapons and skills and stuff. And I wanted it to be where different characters, like different players, can play the same kit kind of differently. So like you can spec into, for example, fire attacks, and your fire character be different from someone else's fire character because you focus on maybe explosions, whereas they focus on like launching fire or using fire traps or something like that. So you have like some ability to spec different elemental skills, and the weapons are also different. So like a hammer controls differently from a sword, and shield, which controls differently from a large two-handed sword, which controls differently from a yo-yo, which controls differently from a pistol, which controls differently from a bow and arrow. So you have a lot of different weapons and a lot of different skills and a lot of different like outfits and armor and stuff, but it's just that you just explore this randomly generated dungeon, get gear, and kind of spec your character the way you want. There's no building, there's no like player housing, there's none of that. It's purely exploration. You might happen upon villages with different little quests you can do, that kind of stuff. So like Destiny's very close to that idea, in that you play the game and you just get better items and armor and stuff. Like they could, you know, like if you take Minecraft or Terraria or you know, something like that that has like some combat, some exploration, some player you know, housing and stuff like that. Take out everything, like focus completely on exploration, and that's basically my dream game. Is like a randomly generated game like Terraria or Minecraft, but focus more on generation of dungeons and, you know, castles and interesting stuff like that, filled with loot that you use to make your character better, and that has a focus on player combat and, well, I guess you could say player expression through combat and exploration. So something like Cube World, kind of like that, if it was there was more focus, more specking involved and more weapons. That's a pretty fair like similarity, something like that. But I think the graphical style would be a little different, and the game would be more focused on kind of a limited, bounded, randomly generated world where it's like you're going from cell or block to block. So the block would be, anyway, I'm getting over, I'm talking about stuff that's not that important. But that, I would love to make that game, and I think that Destiny's kind of similar in that it's about, you know, kind of, you know, running missions and, you know, exploring to some extent. It would be cool if they had a randomly generated like dungeon. It feels like that could be fun, where it's just kind of like, you know, it pieces together some random random parts, so the map isn't always the same. It feels like that'd be cool. Lottie says, nah, that is important. Thanks. I don't know if I agree, but I mean, you know, it's, oh, I forgot that we're working on this. Lottie says that sounds dope. Yeah, I feel like it could be fun. I feel like it would be a lot of fun, and Destiny's kind of similar. I feel like my game, it would be third person instead of first person. It'd be more of a focus on traversal of the environment, maybe some minor puzzles, but a lot of like exploration. I feel like exploration is maybe the one part of games that is maybe the most interesting, but also the most under focused on or under appreciated. Like you have a lot of games that do like really good stories or really good graphics or really good maybe just core game systems, like, you know, Minecraft or something like that, where the core systems, you know, no one is really playing Minecraft for the story that much. You're not playing Minecraft for the graphics that much unless you get mods. You're really playing for the mechanics. So there's a lot of stuff like that, you know, a lot of games that focus on different parts of those concepts, but exploration is maybe like the one piece of a game that people don't really appreciate. I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate consciously. I think that it's well appreciated. A lot of people like a game where you explore, but I don't think people think that exploration is a like core key part of a really good adventure game. You know, Zelda Breath of the Wild is a well appreciated game, but I think a lot of people think of it like, oh yeah, the physics combat was good, and it's like, yeah, that's true. Or like the world was interesting to run around in and explore, and it's like, yeah, that's true. But it's not that the world was big or there was a lot of stuff to do. It was the feeling of exploration. That's the like the bread and butter. That's the meat. That was the sick part. It wasn't really like the other parts. Not saying that those parts weren't important, but the exploration was like, that's what I'm looking for. I don't really care too much about like player housing or like building stuff in Minecraft or mini games, stuff like that. Just give me a good third-person action game that I can play online and just explore. I feel like that would be a fun game. I feel like that's like my if I could make it, that would be my SolarLune Games Destiny would be like that game where you're running through randomly generated a randomly generated map where each cell in the map is pretty big, maybe 100 feet, 200 feet by 200 feet by 200 feet. It's a square, and each cell has its own, or maybe group of cells have their own biome. So there might be like a forest biome with like rivers, and again, these are like squares. So you're always moving in a direction, but there is some movement, some ability to move around. There is, stuff to jump on, or you know, things to avoid. There can be hazards. You know, you might have to go down underwater in some areas, like in caves and things like that. But again, it's limited in terms of its direction and shape. And the world just kind of sprawls out in this direction. And I like that idea because each block or group of blocks could have its own theme that basically kind of changes how you play the game in a fundamental way. So you might have, for example, a mission to go through this portal that takes you to an entirely different biome with an entirely different rule. Like, for example, maybe in this biome is pitch black and you have to carry this light bulb that's, you know, lights up the area around you, and you have to navigate to the exit while without a weapon, and there's like some enemy chasing you. So it's now like kind of a horror game, and you're kind of like looking around trying to avoid this thing, not look at it or whatever. And it's like, that would be a cool system. I think there's a lot of room you can build on this without having to just be like, oh, let's add mini games, or let's add other things that aren't that important or that aren't that key to the game system. I feel like that would be a cool game. Like, there's a lot of room for this fundamental gameplay, and to focus on exploration and kind of keep you looking for the next mission or the next portal or the next block or the next section, the next thing, because you're always looking around. And especially if there's a lot of different weapons that control differently, now you're kind of like, oh, how do I want my character to play? Like, do I want, you know, fire powers? Do I want, you know, the what, like the gloves that allow you to do, like, you know, hand-to-hand combat? Do I want a sword and shield? Do I want, you know, this? Do I want that? And you have like, I want to really focus on like your character being your character and them playing the way you want them to play, rather than being like, you know, kind of like very small variations on the core concept. You know, if you want, I guess I'm trying to think of a game that kind of did something similar. There is one, I feel like, I gotta think about it a little bit. What? I'm getting like hints of it in the back of my brain from the past, but I don't remember what game it was. But I want a game that basically kind of focuses on your character, being your character, playing the way you want, and there being a lot of room for experimentation and exploration, both of your character and the environment. Anyway, I'm done. Lucretia says, I read someone on Game Dev Reddit say, right, something that says, developers should make games others would want to play, because making a game you would like to play would just make you hate the game. Maybe. Hunter said, did you get every expansion? Heck no. Destiny 2 is like, that's like $200 worth of expansions or something. It's like a ridiculous amount. I got just a couple, the season pass and Forsaken, I think. Lottie says, you kind of make your own movie or experience with one game. You would need a wild amount of content. I think that's why people haven't fully dived into it yet. Yeah, I feel like, but see, that's the thing. Like, well, yeah, that's probably why. It's just, it's so much content to make. Even my idea is just insane, but I'd like to make it one day. Anyway, we're good. We managed to fix the core issue we were having. Oh yeah, the drawing is gonna be is slow a little bit. Not sure if we can get this to launch properly, because it's not created with the context isn't created correctly. I remember this being an issue and not solving it. I'm not sure if there's much we can do on this front. When we create the window, I'm not sure if we can. Yeah, I'm not sure. I gotta check it out. Let's see. I don't think it's possible to. Great if this could load. Let's see. A window is usable with an OpenGL context, usable with the Vulkan context. Okay, let's try that. Create window flags. Okay, flags, window flags. I guess we can try a Vulkan window. Let's try that. Let's see if it runs first. All right. Well. All right, everything seems to work fine. Let's see if we can build it. Let's see if this runs. Nah, context not created. Oof. Via create context. Attributes capturing disabled, so it's still the same. Because it did build correctly, right? Yeah. Let's try this. I want to make sure that this is working. Yeah, it's not resizable. Okay. Alright, so it is doing this, it's just not window. Yeah, okay. The issue might be will do anything. Issue might be that in order for it to link up, yeah, we gotta like create the context ourselves, the OpenGL context ourselves. Texture, destroy, window dot. Let's see. GL create context. We could try that. Let's see. No, that doesn't do anything. I'll have to investigate it. But I guess it's not a huge deal. It's still in development. You know, my application here is still in development, so it's to be expected that it will run slow. I just need to take my time to try to figure it out. Although I guess I will need render doc at some point, but that's fine. I can get render doc working later. But yeah, overall, this has been a success. Oh wait, we still need to drag and drop. Oh wait, this is an event actually. Let's see here, page.project.open. Oh, hundredth. Excuse me. Hunter said should have gotten Beyond Light. It should be on sale. Each expansion shouldn't even pass $20. That's still like $80 or something. I don't have. I'm not that in there yet. I'm not that into the thing. Although the next expansion giving you the ability to craft your own weapon is interesting, but that's interesting. That's interesting. I would be down for it. To at least give it a shot. Let's see. This work. Okay, it does work. Alright, so then if we drag and drop, we want to open from, and we want to pass in the file path. Otherwise, we want to turn it into a file. So if we do this, it loads. Cool. Something else we want to do is, something else we want to do is we want to get some confirmation before we just like do that. I'm not sure how we can do that. Let's see. I think we can do, let's see. Something like this might work, because we already have a, are you sure you want to quit menus? Let me just look at that. Confirm, quit, close, quit equals true. Okay. So I'm just gonna copy this. Confirm close. What the heck? These are literally the same thing. Okay. Alright, so we wish to do this, but with confirm load. Well, this is only actually we only want to do this if I'm thinking. Hold on. Okay. We'll do this once we have like modified the modified variable that put a little asterisk at the end of the text at the top of the program. Once we have that enabled, so it's like, oh yeah, you made a change to your project, then we'll go ahead and add this so that it'll confirm if you want to abandon your changes when you load a new project. But this is working. That's good. So we can just pop on, for example, map test, and it just loads it up. That's good. All right, progress is the name of the game, like literally. I swear there's no top part, or did I shift the... Yeah, I feel like the outline of this is different. It's not. Is it? Our menus? No, that menu looks fine. It looks like there's an outline on each side of this menu, but not on each side of this menu. How could that possibly be? Recreate. Sources. 48. Yeah, that's right. 48. 0, corner size. Yeah, let's do something real quick. Wait, drawing outlines is here? Bro, why don't I just... Alright, let me see something real quick. There's only outlines. That kind of looks cool, honestly. I'm kind of here for it. Like, this is actually kind of sick. I wonder if I could, if I were to reverse the font color and the outline color. So that it were light on dark backgrounds and dark on light backgrounds. Wait, isn't that how it works already? That's not how it works already. Okay. But yeah, if I were to reverse it, then maybe if I were to like take a really small, I might be able to do like a frosted glass background for menus. That would be cool. The idea is basically I would take a screenshot essentially of the background before rendering the GUI, scale it down considerably to something really small, and then draw that as the background. Bilinear filtering should take care of it. That's an idea. I have to think about if I really want to do that. But this is good so far. We'll just end it here because I'm dying. Hold on. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, that's fine. There's so much to do, but that's the fun. All right, I'm calling it. I'm tired. Gotta get something to eat. Gotta do other things with my day. But this has been fun. It's been real. Thank you very much for stopping by. I've been SolarLune. I'm the developer of MasterPlan. I hope to continue to be the developer of MasterPlan. And I hope you enjoy your day. It's been real. If you wish to support development, please consider donating to my Patreon or purchasing MasterPlan for yourself or a friend. You can do so on itch and on Steam. Both of the links, all of the links, are in the description, and I appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully I'll get this out to people who wish to try it in the near future, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side next time. See ya.